Hi, what follows is a series of short videos combined together about my song Cross of God. You'll also find here on this YouTube channel the lyric video of the song and some other music that I have. To find more of my songs and find out a little bit more about what I have going on, you can go to ericrapmusic.com. Also, if this content and this music is of interest to you, I'd love to come out and share with you and your circle of Christian friends. It can be anything from a living room to an online session to church building to, you name it. Let's figure out a way to make that happen. I don't require compensation, and I have all the equipment we might need. Thanks. Hello. This is the first in a series of short talks about my song Cross of God. The original title of the song was The Cross of God is Mighty, but I thought that was a bit too long. The point is that the cross of Jesus was the most powerful moment and is the most powerful force in the universe. In this series, we're going to talk about the force of the cross not only being the final sacrifice that set free mankind from the power of sin, but it's also the power to set free his people, his church, his bride to be in union with him. It's important to realize that the cross is not something that God just came up with after the fall in the Garden of Eden to fix everything. It was in his forethought even before the foundations of the world. We will talk about the cross being the key to the fulfillment of God's purpose and passion for the creation of mankind. In 1 Corinthians 1:18 it says, "For the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God." Much more to come on that. But in the meantime, go check out my lyric video that is posted on YouTube, and it's also on my website, ericrapmusic.com. Hi, in my last segment talking about my song Cross of God, I stated that the cross was not God's reaction to the sin of man. It was in his forethought plan all along. Firstly, it says that the Lamb was slain before the foundations of the earth. And it's talked about in the Old Testament or alluded to by Moses and David and the prophets. So I'm going to read some examples, some foreshadows of the cross of Christ in the Old Testament. The mention of wood in the Bible is often a foreshadow of the Savior being crucified on a tree. So in Exodus 14, Moses uses his wooden staff to part the Red Sea, so Israel could pass from bondage to freedom. In Exodus 17 and also in Numbers 20, Moses uses that same staff to strike a rock and bring clean water to save the people of dying of thirst. In Exodus 25, the table of sacrifice that was in the tabernacle was built of wood, not built of stone, like most other sacrificial altars. In Numbers 21, the people had grievously sinned against God, so he sent venomous serpents to bite the people. So he told Moses to put a bronze serpent on a wooden pole and for the people to look at it and be saved. In Numbers 2, the arrangement of the tribal camps around the tabernacle formed the shape of a cross. So that's just a few. So take a look at these and let me know if you have some more that we can add to the list, and let's continue the conversation. Hi, continuing to talk about my song Cross of God. The Bible can be seen as a drama of God pursuing a people, a counterpart that would be in union with him, a people that would much more than just serve him, but a people who would accept, trust in, and respond to his love and follow him into the unlimited reality of his presence. The lie in the Garden of Eden was that God is not good, that his love and faithfulness cannot be trusted. And that lie is often played out throughout the Old Testament. One example is that after God delivered the Israelites from the Egyptian bondage, in a tremendous display of his power and love, Moses went up to the mountain for 40 days to get direction from God. The Israelites became impatient and lost trust that God was going to take care of them, so they built a golden calf to be their God and to take care of them. For love and trust to be real and grow, it must be tested. Often when it was tested, the Israelites would lose their trust in God's love and faithfulness. But the ultimate act of love, faithfulness, and goodness is that the Father allowed his Son Jesus to be crucified on the cross. And despite all that we may see or go through, it is the power of the love that was poured out on that cross that can be trusted. Hello. The second verse of my song, Cross of God, says, "It seemed she would never return his love, bound by the power of the fall. But now she lives to pour out her love, and now she responds to his call." As I've said in past posts, God desires a people that he could share his life with, who would receive and return his love. But sin, which has its root in doubting God's love and goodness, was keeping humanity in bondage. Now the cross was so powerful and complete that it not only set people free from sin, but it also gave people the power to live with and for God. We spend so much of our time talking about being Christ-like through behavioral modification and trying harder. Mankind has failed at this from the time of the fall until the cross. But Paul says this in Galatians, "I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me." God did not allow his son to be brutally crucified and then go back to depending on man trying to improve themselves in order to live for him. On the cross, we were crucified with Christ and raised to new life. Christ in us, the hope of glory. That is how we live the Christian life. Oh, the cross of God is mighty.